The powerful do not connect with everyone. They connect only with those who understand the game. And at this moment, you are standing on the outside looking in, left to wonder why certain doors stay locked, why certain opportunities never come your way. You watch men with half your natural ability sit in rooms you will never enter, and you ask yourself why. It is not luck, it is not talent, it is knowing the laws that govern the circles of influence, the unspoken rules that divide the forgettable from the unforgettable. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this 5 centuries ago, and the elite still live by his principles today. They simply do not teach them in schools. They do not speak of them openly. These laws are passed down through bloodlines, whispered in private clubs, practiced in boardrooms you have never seen until now. What you are about to hear will transform how you see every interaction, every handshake, every conversation. 13 laws, 13 keys to becoming untouchable. Listen closely. Your transformation begins now. First law, become useful before you become close. Nobody powerful cares about your dreams. They do not care about your potential. They do not care about who you might become someday. They care about one thing only. What can you do for them right now? This is the first law. Become useful before you become close. If you want access to powerful people, you must stop thinking like a fan. Stop approaching them as though you need something. The moment you radiate need, you become invisible. Powerful people are surrounded constantly by those who want from them. Their guard is always up. Their filters are ruthless. They can smell desperation from across the room, and they will dismiss you without a second thought. So you must flip the script entirely. You do not ask what they can do for you. You ask yourself what problem they have that you can solve, what burden they carry that you can lighten, what gap exists in their world that you can fill. This is not about servitude, this is about strategy. When you bring value first, you bypass their defenses. You enter through a door that remains locked to everyone else. The desperate beg for attention. The strategic create reasons to be noticed. Study them before you ever speak to them. Understand their business, know their challenges, identify where you fit, then position yourself as the answer they did not know they needed. This is how empires are built, not through asking, but through offering, not through taking, but through giving with precision. The powerful remember those who made their lives easier. They forget those who complicated them. Be the solution, never the problem. Usefulness is your first currency in the economy of power. Spend it wisely, invest it strategically, and watch doors open you never knew existed. Second law, never reveal your full hand. The moment they know everything about you, you lose all power. Mystery is a weapon. Silence is a shield. The second law is simple but brutal. Never reveal your full hand. Most men talk too much. They share their plans, their dreams, their strategies, their weaknesses, all without being asked. They mistake openness for connection. They believe vulnerability builds trust. In the world of power, this is suicide. When you reveal everything, you become predictable, and predictable men are controlled men.
The powerful always hold something back. They let you see what they want you to see, nothing more. You think you know them, but you know only the version they have constructed for your eyes. This is not deception, this is protection. Every piece of information you share is a tool that can be used against you. Your ambitions can be blocked, your weaknesses can be exploited, your plans can be stolen. So guard your intentions like a fortress. Speak in generalities when others probe for specifics. Smile when they expect answers. Redirect when they push too hard. Let them wonder, let them guess, let them fill in the blanks with their own assumptions. Because a man who cannot be fully understood cannot be fully controlled. This is the power of the unknown. When you keep parts of yourself hidden, you create intrigue. People are drawn to what they cannot fully grasp. They respect what they cannot easily define. The loudest man in the room is rarely the most powerful. The most powerful is the one watching, listening, calculating, revealing nothing while learning everything. Master this law and you become unreadable. Unreadable men are dangerous men. Dangerous men are respected men. Hold your cards close. Let your silence speak volumes they will never decode. Third law, enter through the side door. The front door is guarded. Everyone sees it, everyone rushes toward it, and everyone gets rejected. This is by design. The powerful protect their inner circle with layers of gatekeepers, assistants, and barriers built specifically to keep the ordinary out. If you approach like everyone else, you will be treated like everyone else, dismissed, ignored, forgotten. The third law demands that you think differently. Enter through the side door. The side door is the path no one considers. It is the assistant who schedules their meetings. It is the business partner they trust. It is the friend from their past. It is the charity they support. It is the event they attend when the cameras are off. These are the unguarded entry points. This is where access lives. You must study the architecture of their world, map out who surrounds them, identify the people they trust who are not as protected as they are. Build relationships with those people first. Become known in their peripheral circles. Let your reputation travel inward before you ever make direct contact. This is patience weaponized. The desperate man charges the front gate and wonders why he's turned away. The strategic man makes friends with the gatekeeper's gatekeeper. He becomes familiar before he becomes present. He is mentioned in conversations before he ever enters the room. When you finally stand before the powerful, you are no longer a stranger. You are a name they have heard, a presence already validated by those they trust. This is how you bypass the walls, not through force, but through finesse, not through begging, but through positioning. The front door is a trap for the impatient. The side door is the passage for the wise. Find it, use it, and never reveal how you got in. Fourth law, mirror their world, not your own. You live in your world, they live in theirs, and these two worlds are not the same. The fourth law is about adaptation. Mirror their world, not your own. Most men make the fatal mistake of expecting powerful people to relate to them. They speak about their struggles, their background, their perspective, as if the powerful should care. They do not. The powerful care about their own reality, their concerns, their language, their values. If you want to connect with them, you must step into their frame. You must learn how they see the world and reflect it back to them. This is not about losing yourself. This is about strategic empathy. Study how they speak. Notice the words they use, the topics they value, the things that make them lean in.
Observe their body language, their humor, their pace of conversation. Then calibrate yourself to match. When you mirror someone, you create an unconscious bond. They feel understood without knowing why. They feel comfortable in your presence because you remind them of what they trust most, themselves. This is dark psychology in its purest form. People are drawn to reflections of their own identity. The powerful are no different. They surround themselves with those who validate their worldview. Become that validation. Speak their language fluently. Reference their interests naturally. Align your energy with theirs. But do this with subtlety. Obvious mirroring is manipulation detected. Skilled mirroring is connection created. You are not pretending to be someone else. You are demonstrating that you belong in their world, that you understand its rules, that you are not an outsider fumbling in unfamiliar territory. Adaptability is intelligence. Rigidity is death. The man who refuses to adjust will never ascend. Bend without breaking. Mirror without losing yourself. Fifth law, Master the art of selective availability. The more available you are, the less valuable you become. This is human nature. We chase what retreats. We dismiss what lingers. The fifth law is counterintuitive but essential. Master the art of selective availability. Most men believe constant presence builds connection. They respond instantly. They show up every time. They make themselves endlessly accessible, thinking this proves loyalty and dedication. In reality, it proves desperation. It signals that you have nothing else, no other demands, no other priorities, no other value. The powerful notice this immediately, and they categorize you accordingly: forgettable, replaceable, low status. Scarcity creates value. This is economics. This is psychology. This is power. When you are selectively available, you communicate that your time has worth, that your presence is not guaranteed, that access to you must be earned, not assumed. This does not mean being rude or unreliable. It means being strategic about when and how you appear. Decline some invitations, delay some responses, create space between interactions. Let them wonder where you are. Let them feel the absence. When you reappear, your presence carries weight. They appreciate what they cannot take for granted. They value what is not always within reach. This is how you shift the dynamic. Instead of chasing their attention, they begin noticing yours. Instead of hoping for their time, they start seeking yours. The power balance tilts in your direction without a single word spoken. But this requires discipline. You must resist the urge to always be present. You must tolerate the discomfort of distance. You must trust that your absence speaks louder than constant availability ever could. Be present enough to matter. Be absent enough to be missed. This is the rhythm of influence mastered. Sixth law: speak less than necessary. Words are weapons, and most men fire them recklessly. They speak to fill silence. They talk to prove intelligence. They share to feel important. And in doing so, they hand over all their power. The sixth law is ancient and unforgiving. Speak less than necessary. Every word you utter is a revelation, a clue, a piece of ammunition that can be turned against you. The more you speak, the more you expose your fears, your insecurities, your true intentions. The powerful understand this. Watch them in rooms full of noise. They listen, they observe, they measure every syllable before it leaves their lips. When they finally speak, the room falls silent, because rare words carry weight.
Frequent words become background noise. Silence is intimidating. It creates pressure without effort. When you speak less, others rush to fill the void. They reveal themselves while you remain hidden. They grow uncomfortable while you remain composed. They wonder what you are thinking while you learn exactly who they are. This is control without confrontation, influence without force. You do not need to dominate conversations to dominate rooms. The man who talks the most is rarely leading. He is performing. He is seeking validation. He is bleeding power with every unnecessary sentence. You must become comfortable with silence. Let pauses stretch. Let questions hang in the air. Let others squirm while you remain still. When you do speak, be precise, be deliberate. Say what must be said and nothing more. Your words become valuable because they are rare. Your opinions become respected because they are not scattered freely. This is discipline of the highest order. Control your tongue, and you control your destiny. Speak less, mean more. Let silence become your most powerful statement. Seventh law: create mutual enemies. Nothing bonds people faster than a shared threat. This is tribal psychology wired into human DNA. We unite against common enemies. We trust those who stand beside us in battle.
The seventh law exploits this primal truth: create mutual enemies. This is not about manufacturing conflict for the sake of destruction. This is about strategic alignment. When you identify a challenge, a competitor, an obstacle, or an opposition that both you and the powerful person face, you create instant alliance. You are no longer a stranger seeking access. You are a comrade in a shared war. The powerful are always fighting something: rivals in their industry, critics attacking their reputation, market forces threatening their position, regulations limiting their freedom. Find out what they oppose, understand what keeps them awake at night, then position yourself as someone who shares that battle. When you speak against what they despise, you speak their language. When you fight what they fight, you become one of them. This is not manipulation, this is alignment. The bond formed through mutual opposition is stronger than the bond formed through mutual interest. Shared pleasure is easily forgotten. Shared struggle is remembered forever. But be calculated in this. Never create enemies you cannot afford to have. Never align against forces that could destroy you. Choose your oppositions wisely. Make sure the enemy you highlight is real and significant enough to matter. And never appear to be using this tactic transparently. The powerful respect those who genuinely share their battles. They despise those who fake alignment for access. Be authentic in your opposition. Let the alliance form naturally around shared conviction. When you stand beside power against a common threat, you are no longer outside the circle. You are inside the fortress, shoulder to shoulder. Eighth law: never outshine the master. Ego is the silent killer of alliances. You may be smarter, you may be more capable, you may see solutions they miss and paths they cannot imagine. But the moment you make them feel inferior, you become their enemy. The eighth law is survival itself: never outshine the master. The powerful did not reach their position by tolerating those who threaten their status. Their identity is built on being exceptional. Their worth is tied to being above others. When you display superiority, even unintentionally, you attack the foundation of who they are, and they will destroy you for it. This is not about dimming your light. This is about strategic positioning. You must make your talents serve their glory, not overshadow it. Let them take credit. Let them feel like the source of brilliance. Let your contributions elevate them rather than expose them. The wise advisor whispers ideas that the king announces as his own. The trusted lieutenant executes strategies that the general claims as his vision. This is how power actually works behind closed doors. Your ego will resist this. It will scream for recognition. It will demand that your brilliance be acknowledged. Silence it. Recognition can come later, when your position is secure, when your value is undeniable, when removing you would cost them more than keeping you. Until then, play the long game. Be excellent in ways that make them look better. Solve problems quietly. Offer insights that they can present as their own conclusions. The moment they feel threatened by your shine, your access ends. They will find reasons to remove you. They will rewrite history to diminish your contributions. Protect yourself by protecting their ego. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. Outshine the master, and you lose everything. Ninth law: make others come to you. The one who chases holds no power. The one who is chased holds all of it. This is the fundamental truth of human dynamics. Pursuit is weakness. Attraction is strength. The ninth law reshapes how you move through the world. Make others come to you. When you chase powerful people, you confirm your lower position. You signal that they have something you need. You place yourself beneath them before a single word is exchanged. And from that position, you will never be seen as an equal. You will always be the one reaching upward, grasping, hoping. The strategic man reverses this entirely. He builds something worth noticing. He creates results that speak louder than introductions. He develops a reputation that travels into rooms before he ever enters them. Then he waits, not passively, not lazily, but with the patience of a hunter who has laid the perfect trap. When you become known for excellence, the powerful become curious. When you solve problems visibly, they want to know how. When your name is mentioned by others, they respect. They seek you out. This is attraction through achievement. You are no longer knocking on doors. Doors are opening, and invitations are being extended. This requires faith in your own value. You must believe that what you offer is worth pursuing. You must resist the desperation that drives lesser men to chase and beg and lower themselves. Build your fortress, stack your accomplishments, let your work echo through the networks where power resides. The magnetic man does not announce his presence is felt. He does not ask for attention finds him. This is the ultimate position of strength. When they come to you, negotiations begin on your terms, not theirs. 10th law. Guard your reputation with your life. You can lose money and recover. You can lose opportunities and find new ones. But once your reputation is destroyed, everything crumbles. The 10th law is non-negotiable. Guard your reputation with your life. In the world of power, perception is reality. It does not matter who you truly are. It matters who they believe you are. Your reputation enters rooms before you do. It speaks when you are silent. It works for you or against you every second of every day. The powerful evaluate others through the lens of reputation first. They ask around before they engage. They listen to whispers before they offer access. One negative story, one moment of perceived weakness, one association with the wrong person, and you become untouchable for all the wrong reasons. You must become obsessed with how you are perceived. Control the narrative. Shape the story others tell about you. Never give enemies ammunition. Never let mistakes define you. Never allow a single failure to become your identity. Attack threats to your reputation swiftly and strategically. Do not ignore rumors. Do not assume the truth will protect you. In the game of power, truth is irrelevant if perception has already been established. Repair damage immediately. Correct false narratives before they spread. Distance yourself from those whose reputations could contaminate yours. Associate only with those who elevate how you are seen.
Your reputation is currency more valuable than money. It opens doors wealth cannot unlock. It builds trust that takes years to establish through actions alone. It precedes you like an advanced army preparing the battlefield in your favor. Protect it ruthlessly. Cultivate it intentionally. Let no one tarnish what you have built, because in the circles of power, your name is everything. Lose it, and you lose access forever. 11th law. Learn to use enemies. Most men see enemies as problems to eliminate. They waste energy on hatred. They burn resources on revenge. They let opposition consume them until nothing productive remains. The 11th law transforms your perspective entirely. Learn to use enemies. Enemies are assets hiding in plain sight. They reveal your weaknesses by attacking them. They show you blind spots you never knew existed. They keep you sharp when comfort would make you dull. Without opposition, you grow lazy. Without threat, you become careless. Your enemies, whether they know it or not, are training you to become stronger. But beyond personal growth, enemies can be leveraged strategically. A former enemy who becomes an ally sends a powerful message. It shows you are capable of transcending conflict. It demonstrates that you value utility over emotion. The powerful are always watching how you handle opposition. If you react with rage, you appear weak. If you hold grudges forever, you appear small. But if you convert an enemy into a resource, you appear formidable. Sometimes an enemy possesses skills, connections, or information that would serve you better than their destruction. The wise man calculates the cost of continued warfare against the benefits of strategic reconciliation. He chooses the path that increases his power, not the path that satisfies his pride. Never eliminate an enemy if you can use them instead. Absorb their strengths, redirect their energy, turn their knowledge of your weaknesses into loyalty that watches your blind spots. This requires emotional mastery. You must detach from the satisfaction of revenge. You must see people as instruments rather than objects of personal feeling. The man who can use his enemies will never lack for tools. Transform opposition into opportunity. Turn threats into assets. This is power thinking at its coldest. 12th law. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. The weak beg. The powerful negotiate. This distinction separates those who receive crumbs from those who claim seats at the table. The 12th law eliminates all illusion. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. When you ask the powerful for help based on your need, you insult them. You assume they care about your struggles. You expect them to sacrifice their resources for your benefit out of kindness. This is fantasy. The powerful did not ascend by giving freely to those who ask nicely. They measure every exchange. They calculate every investment. They ask one question before every decision: what do I gain from this? You must answer that question before they ever ask it. When you approach power, come armed with value. Show them what they get. Demonstrate the return on their investment of time, attention, or resources. Make the transaction so clearly beneficial that refusing becomes illogical. This is not cynicism, this is clarity. Human beings operate on incentives. Even generosity is often self-serving, satisfying ego or building reputation. When you understand this, you stop wasting time on emotional appeals and start constructing irresistible propositions. Frame every request as an opportunity for them. Position every ask as a benefit they would be foolish to decline. Remove yourself from the center of the pitch. Make it about their gain, their advantage, their growth. The man who begs activates contempt. The man who offers activates interest. These are two completely different positions of power. Never remind them of past favors you are owed. Never invoke their sympathy for your situation. Never assume shared history entitles you to their assistance. Always present the clear advantage they receive by helping you. Self-interest is the universal language of power. Speak it fluently or remain silent forever. 13th law. Think as you like, but behave like others. The world punishes those who are visibly different. It crushes those who openly defy its norms. You may see through the illusions. You may recognize the games others play blindly. You may hold beliefs that would shock those around you. But the 13th law protects your ascent. Think as you like, but behave like others. Your mind is your private kingdom. No one can enter unless you allow them. In that sacred space, you are free. Question everything. Challenge every assumption. See the world with eyes unclouded by the comfortable lies society tells itself. But your external behavior must be calculated for survival and advancement. The powerful do not advertise their unconventional thinking. They blend seamlessly into the environments they wish to dominate. They dress appropriately. They speak acceptably. They nod at the right moments and express the expected opinions in public settings. Behind closed doors, their true calculations continue undisturbed. This is not hypocrisy. This is intelligence. The nail that sticks up gets hammered down. The man who broadcasts his different thinking becomes a target.
He attracts enemies he does not need. He creates resistance that slows his progress. He wastes energy defending positions when he could be advancing quietly. Let others debate openly and attract fire. You move in silence. Your conformity is camouflage. Your agreement is strategic. You save your true thoughts for the moments they can create advantage, not controversy. Master this duality. Walk among them as one of them, while your mind operates on an entirely different level. This is how you infiltrate circles that would reject you if they knew what you truly thought. This is how you reach positions where your different thinking finally gains the power to reshape reality. Now you hold the 13 laws. You have received what most will never learn. The question is whether you have the discipline to apply them. Knowledge without action is worthless. Wisdom without execution is entertainment. You must take what you have heard and forge it into daily practice. Study these laws until they become instinct. Review them until they guide your every interaction. The path to becoming untouchable is not walked in a single day. It is built through relentless commitment to principles that never change. If this has shifted something within you, drop a comment below with the words, "Power recognized." Let me know you understood. Let me know you are ready. And if you want more content that prepares you for the realities of influence and connection, hit the like button now. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next. Your transformation has begun. Now go become what they never expected. Untouchable.